And now it's time for Storytime with Dave Rothenberg. So maybe pick up a donut, a muffin, a scone, a cup of coffee, and let's get rolling. And I want to give you the overview of where we are. I have real issues. I have real deep-seated, deep-rooted issues in my life. And I think some of them are somewhat entertaining/funny. And Storytime with Dave Rothenberg will really put those on the forefront, like lunatic stories. And for instance, now, by the way, you're going to get this every week. You're going to get a sit down, a story time. And the thought was, how long can you keep this going? Well, fortunately for you, I'm so damaged and so broken that we're going to be able to keep story time with Dave Rothenberg going for a very, very long time. Let me bring you back. What year are we in? We're in 2021. Let me bring you back to probably 2009. Story time with Dave Rothenberg. So we'll go in the Wayback Machine, 2009. And I have a baby, not really big, I guess he's 2 years old, and a beautiful wife. And she says, I need to go on vacation. I can't just be stuck in the house with a little guy for another week. We need to go on vacation. I said, what do you want to do? To my wife, I'll call her Sherry, because that's her name. So I said to Sherry, what do you want to do? She says, let's go on a cruise. I want to go on a cruise. I said, okay. But it's football season, and I become a little stressed out because I don't like to go away during football season. I need everything, all my ducks to be in a row, for lack of a better term. So she says, great deal. We'll go on this cruise, but it's over a Sunday. So I need to make sure that I can watch the Giants are playing the Eagles on Sunday Night Football during the cruise. So I'm damaged. We've been there. What do? I call Royal Caribbean. And I said, I need for you to spell this out and confirm that the Giants-Eagles game on Sunday night will, in fact, be shown on the ship in whatever bar, sports bar area you have. The response is, oh, Mr. Rothenberg, you have nothing to worry about. Of course we're going to show the Giants-Eagles game. Lock it down. You're fine. Great. I feel a lot better. We go on the ship. First day, and it doesn't really matter for the story, but I'll just tell you to really bring you behind the scenes. We go through a hurricane. We have to adjust. I'm having a miserable time, but the next day is football Sunday. And as my wife and 2-year-old, they're out there in the pool, and they're having drinks, and they're just having, well, he's not, but she is, and they're having a great time. And I go to the bar, and I'm watching games all day long. And then we get to the Giants and the Eagles game, and it's about 8:15. And I say to the bartender, okay, I was told the Giants and Eagles would be put on right now. And the bartender looks at me defiantly and says, not putting the Giants and Eagles game on. People are watching Sunday Night Baseball or whatever they're watching. And I panic and I freak out and I don't know what to do. Now, as you can tell, I'm not someone that's going to throw down and start to fight. So I think, what power do I have in this moment? What can I do to stop this person from putting Sunday Night Baseball on and not the Giants and the Eagles? Nudity. That's what I can throw out there. And I turn to the bartender and I say, if you do not put the Giants-Eagles game on right now, I will take all my clothes off and start to run around the ship. And this man doesn't know what to do. He calls the manager of the bar over and says, Steve, this lunatic says he's going to start to take his clothes off if you don't put the Giants and Eagles game on. And Steve says, sir, he calls me over, sir, why would you think to do this? I said, I don't have a lot of options here, Steve. If I don't get the Giants and Eagles game on immediately, I will begin to undress. And he looks at me like I'm crazy. And in that moment, maybe I am. And I begin to undo a button. And I begin to undo another button. And Steve says, now why this is such a big deal at a sports bar to put the game on? Steve relents. He says, get the game on. Get the game on. And I watched the entirety, fully clothed, mind you, of the Giants and the Eagles. And now for kind of the end of this wild story time with Dave Rothenberg. So while we're on a cruise ship, how many people are on the ship? I don't know, 1,500, right? 2,000. Like, these are little cities that travel. So my wife, Sherry, as we've appropriately called her, because that's her name, is at the spa the next day. And she's getting ready to go into have whatever treatment she's having. And as the woman approaches her, the woman at the spa says to the other woman at the spa, did you hear about the crazy man who attempted to take his clothes off during a football game last night, and they had to acquiesce and put on whatever he wanted? And my wife hears this, and she says, that was my husband. And they say, no, it was a crazy man. And they say, no. Sherry says, no, that in fact was my husband. And that is your first edition of Storytime with Dave Rothenberg.